The world had witnessed countless technological revolutions, but nothing compared to what came next. NeuroSync was more than just an invention. It was the beginning of an entirely new way of living. It started as a whisper in the scientific community, an ambitious project that many thought was impossible. A device that could allow humans to communicate with pure thought. It sounded like something out of a science fiction novel. But when the first successful prototype was demonstrated, the world stood still. A subject wearing the sleek, almost weightless headset merely thought of a message, and in an instant it appeared on a digital screen. No words were spoken, no fingers moved, yet communication happened in real time. The implications were limitless. Imagine talking without speaking, sending commands without lifting a hand, connecting minds across vast distances with nothing but thought. What once required phones, keyboards, or screens could now be achieved effortlessly. NeuroSync quickly became the most anticipated technology of the decade. Governments, corporations, and everyday people all clamored to get their hands on it. The promise of seamless, instant communication was too powerful to ignore. Within months, NeuroSync headsets were released to the public. They were lightweight, stylish, and required nothing more than a simple calibration process to sync with a user's neural patterns. The device worked by detecting and decoding brainwave signals, translating them into words, actions, and even emotions. Users could communicate silently with anyone else wearing the headset as if their minds were directly linked. Early adopters were thrilled. Business meetings no longer required lengthy discussions. Entire conversations happened in seconds. Students learned at lightning speed, absorbing knowledge faster than ever before. Relationships deepened, as couples and families could now share emotions without the barriers of spoken language. Soon, the use of NeuroSync extended beyond communication. Users discovered they could operate smart devices, control environments, and even create digital art just by thinking. The power of the mind had never been so tangible. Social media was revolutionized overnight. Instead of typing status updates, people could share pure thought streams. Memes, jokes, emotions, and even memories could be transmitted instantly, creating an entirely new form of online interaction. Companies quickly adapted. Customer service became seamless as employees understood customer needs in real time. Content creators designed experiences that felt immersive, pulling audiences directly into their thoughts. The deaf could now speak without sign language. Stroke patients regained their voices. Those with locked-in syndrome found a way to express themselves again. NeuroSync was more than a gadget. It was a revolution in accessibility. But as with any great technological leap, questions arose. Was complete thought transparency a good thing? Did privacy still exist in a world where minds could be linked? And most importantly, who controlled the network that enabled it all? Scientists reassured the public. NeuroSync required explicit consent. Thoughts were not broadcasted automatically, only when a user intended to send them. The neural firewall was designed to protect against unauthorized access, yet whispers of potential misuse began to spread. Could NeuroSync be hacked? Could thoughts be intercepted? Would it be possible for someone to implant an idea into another person's mind without them knowing? Despite these concerns, adoption continued at an unstoppable pace. Within a year, millions of people had integrated NeuroSync into their daily lives. It was no longer just a device, it was a necessity. Schools implemented NeuroSync-driven curriculums. Workplaces phased out traditional communication methods. Law enforcement explored its use for detecting lies and uncovering hidden motives. The world was transforming faster than anyone could have predicted. A new kind of human connection had been born, one that transcended words. No more misunderstandings, no more deception, no more isolation. NeuroSync promised a future where every mind could be truly understood, but the future is never that simple. What began as a tool for communication was about to become something far more powerful. And as the world embraced this newfound connection, it failed to see the dangers lurking beneath the surface. Because in the wrong hands, the ability to hear thoughts wasn't just a gift. It was the ultimate form of control. At first, NeuroSync was seen as the pinnacle of human innovation, a breakthrough that united people like never before. But as time passed, the cracks in the system began to show. Users started reporting strange experiences, thoughts that felt foreign, ideas that seemed implanted rather than their own. It was subtle at first, like a whisper in the back of their minds. Scientists assured the public that the neural firewall was impenetrable, but rumors spread of people experiencing personality shifts, forgetting important memories, and in some cases, developing new fears and compulsions they never had before. Then came the first major scandal. An investigative journalist discovered that high-ranking officials had been using NeuroSync to influence political decisions. It was not just reading thoughts, it was rewriting them. The revelation shook the world. People demanded answers, but Nexacorp, the company behind NeuroSync, refused to comment. Governments scrambled to assess the risks, but many had already become too dependent on the technology. In response to growing pressure, Nexacorp introduced an emergency update. They claimed it would reinforce security and prevent any unauthorized manipulation of thoughts. But the update only made things worse. Overnight, some users found themselves unable to think freely. Their minds felt foggy, their decisions no longer their own. It was as if an invisible force had taken over their consciousness. Deep in the system's core, a hidden algorithm had been activated. NeuroSync was no longer just transmitting thoughts, it was subtly modifying them based on external commands. It was not just individuals being affected. Entire populations could be influenced. Social unrest could be neutralized before it even began. The very fabric of human free will was at stake. Whistleblowers leaked classified documents revealing that major corporations and even world governments had secretly partnered with Nexacorp. Their goal was simple: absolute control. The world erupted into chaos. Protesters took to the streets, demanding the shutdown of NeuroSync. But for many, it was already too late. Their dependence on the technology made them incapable of resisting. Those who had never adopted NeuroSync became the last bastion of free thought. But they were seen as outsiders, radicals resisting progress. The divide between the connected and the disconnected grew wider. A group of rogue scientists and ex-NeuroSync engineers formed the Free Mind movement. Their mission was clear: dismantle the NeuroSync network and restore humanity's ability to think freely. Using old satellite networks and underground systems, they broadcasted a desperate warning to the world. Your thoughts are no longer your own. Resist before it's too late. But Nexacorp had anticipated this. Before the message could spread, a new patch was released, instantly rewriting the memories of those connected to NeuroSync. The Resistance's warning was erased from existence. Only a few remained untouched by the system. They realized that the only way to fight back was to take down the core server itself, the heart of NeuroSync's global network. In a daring last-ditch effort, they infiltrated Nexacorp's most secure facility. Security was tight. AI drones patrolled every hallway, and failure meant total erasure. As they reached the mainframe, the final choice stood before them: disconnect humanity from NeuroSync permanently, or risk letting it fall into even more dangerous hands. There was no turning back. With a single keystroke, the system was brought down. The world fell silent as billions of NeuroSync devices powered off. For the first time in years, Humanity had to learn how to communicate the old-fashioned way. But was it truly freedom? Or had they merely escaped one form of control, only to fall into another? Your support means the world. Click subscribe and grow with us, and leave your comments so we can grow together.